Oh my, what's that down there? A concert review from me now? But it's been forever, right? Well, I haven't done a concert review video in a long time because I haven't been to a concert in a long time because just simply no artists I'm interested enough in to see perform live have been in the area, so I just haven't seen anything. But you may be thinking, who is this band called Something Rotten? They sound cool. Well, they're not. It is a used to be on Broadway, I think, but now off Broadway play that is now not on Broadway anymore, but in other stage show theaters or something. I don't know. I'm not a theater person. Look, I'm doing a concert review on this because one, I haven't done a concert review in a long time. Two, there are live musicians performing and people on stage singing, so in the vaguest of terms, you could probably say it's technically a concert, so you know what? I'm counting it. Normally, I would have never gone to something like this, but we got free tickets, so I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go see a stage play. I haven't really seen a lot of stage shows since high school because like high school plays are free, at least when you're a student there they're free, and they're at least entertaining because even if you don't like the play, you can be like, oh hey look, it's that person on stage, I know them. And then like when you see the crew moving stuff around, you're like, oh hey, I know those people too. But yeah, I haven't really seen a lot of plays in a while, and this is the first one I've seen in a while. So, what is Something Rotten? Well, uh, basically, it's this play where uh, it's in Shakespearean times. Shakespeare is like this cross between like Elvis Presley and Justin Timberlake rock star figure where he's super popular and everyone loves him for like writing such awesome plays and sonnets, and there's a couple songs where he sings Shakespearean sonnets like to music and everybody's like ah because Shakespeare's that popular. And there's these two brothers who are also writing plays, the Bottom Brothers, and I think the only reason they're called Bottom Brothers is because the magistrate in this play is supposed to be Puritan and he's supposed to hate homosexuals, but they make a ton of jokes that like imply that he's in the closet, and like there's a lot of closet jokes in this play. And basically like there's two ways I can review this play. The first is as a concert, the second is like as if it were a movie, because I do concert reviews on this channel and I do movie reviews on this channel, or at least new releases I happen to see in the theater. And so as far as the concert aspect of this play goes, the music uh, was fine. The musicians were all great. I would have liked a little more variety in genre in the play, but it was still good. The acoustics in the what's the word? The venue, yeah, I'll go with venue, was they were very good. Nothing sounded tinny or uh, not good. Everything was good. Um, and my only real complaint is some of the people singing on stage weren't loud enough. I don't know if it was just because their microphone or like the volume they were set wasn't high enough, but there were a couple times with a couple people where like the singing wasn't loud enough, at least to my ears. And keep in mind, I was, even though we got free tickets, we were way in the back and we almost had a pillar in front of us, and I'm so glad we didn't, because if we had to be like this the whole play, that would have gotten very annoying. Um, and that, I guess that kind of segues into the movie aspect of my reviewing of this, because the Broadway acting style is like very exaggerated and like very loud and bombastic, mostly because like when you're on stage you have to project and make everything exaggerated so everybody in the back can hear what you're saying and see what you're doing. And like TV and movie acting is like usually more realistic than that, but you can't really blame them for that. And uh, there were really only two songs that I personally really loved in this play. The first one was, I have to kind of go over a bit of the plot, so spoilers for this play. So there's these two brothers, they want to like be as good as Shakespeare, so he one of the brothers goes to this soothsayer who like predicts the future. He's like, what is going to be big in the future of theater? And he's like, there's going to be musicals. And then they do a musical about musicals where they point out very humorously like all the cliches of musicals. Like, so you're telling me people just talk on stage and then they randomly segue into singing, and then they like talk about things like sometimes they're very serious and the person on stage only sings one note, and then they make a dramatic change so it's very noticeable, and then they're like, that sounds very miserable, you mean la miserable? And then like everybody laughed because Les Mis. And secondly, I'm so glad this play had talking in it and wasn't just songs all the way through, because like Les Mis, I've seen Les Mis both the movie and live. The live version I saw wasn't the full version. It was like 45 minutes shaved off, which I'm glad for, because Les Mis is very exhausting to sit through because everybody just sings the whole way through, and like I can do it for like 30 minutes, but then it just gets exhausting, like I said. Um, and then what else do they talk about in that song? They talked about like how it randomly breaks into an instrumental section where everybody just dances. Everybody just dances. Yeah, that's right. They just dance, and then everybody tap dances. And by the way, the to this play's credit, the tap dancing was really really good. And then they're like, and then we always repeat the chorus one more time, and they do the chorus one more time, and then there's like 5 seconds where they imitate scrubbing the floors like Annie, and then the second big song that I really loved was when they do a song for the play they write in universe. So he goes back to the soothsayer and he's like, what is going to be Shakespeare's biggest, most popular work? And he's looking into the future and he's like, I see omelet, like ALMET, like Hamlet but without the H, ha ha ha. And he's like, oh, omelets, like the breakfast food? That's it. So they write this play about omelets, and so you see the song from the play, it's about omelets, and like that was hilarious because you see all this talent on stage just like making fools of themselves in omelet costumes, and it's glorious. It's absolutely glorious. Um, and that kind of leads me to my problem with this play, is that although it's self-aware, like here's my thing with like self-aware things. There's no point in being self-aware if you're not gonna do anything like different with it, or like for example, like basically spoiling the plot of this movie, like it's your typical Broadway musical where there's a romantic love interest and they like get together at the end, but like they've been married the whole time, but like like but they have a baby, so I guess that's something. Um like you have a musical like La La Land, which spoilers for La La Land 2. At the end of La La Land, one of the reasons I love that movie a lot better than a bunch of other musicals is because it doesn't have the traditional musical ending where the guy and the girl get together at the end. It's always like that, but in La La Land, it's this bitter-sweet ending where they don't get together and instead just like reflect back on the years they spent together and think what could have been if they stayed together, but they still go their separate ways. And I'm like, wow, that's actually very poignant and fresh for the genre. Like I applaud that. But this play, like in terms of plot, it's pretty straightforward. The the set design is really cool. The sets were really good. Uh, I don't really know what else to say other than like the presentation was well done, but like it was fine. It was good. It was a good play, but it wasn't really anything super spectacular. My life would not feel complete if I had to go to see it a second time. I If I were judging this as a movie, like I would probably give it like a 6 out of 10. If I were judging it as a concert, um, it's like I don't really assign numerical values to concerts I've been to because I haven't really been to enough that I could accurately gauge that on a scale from like A plus to F or 10 to 0 or whatever, but um like it's in the middle, like probably lower middle for me in terms of like live shows I've been to. um but yeah. But and that's not to say I'm not entirely not a fan of theater. Like I've seen The Lion King in London, and that was really good. I've seen, oh boy, I've seen Jesus Christ Superstar. I've seen Music Man, The Wedding Singer, Night in the Woods. Oh, what else? I've seen a number of plays. So like in terms of plays I've seen, uh, again, it's somewhere in the middle, but a little higher than the middle, I'd say. But yeah, this was something a little different for me. When I just kind of run out of things to talk about, I usually end these videos. So yeah, if you're a theater person, you'll probably love this play. You'll think it's funny because everybody in my theater was laughing, even though the humor to me was not very funny. I got like, now it's hard to get an involuntary laugh out of me. Like I'm usually very stoic when I'm watching something, and if something like really genuinely catches me off guard, it'll make me like smile, but but it takes a lot to involuntarily make me uncontrollably burst out laughing. Like, if you show me a movie like Bruno or Borat or something, like that'll make me burst out laughing like a good 15 or 20 times. I don't care what you think of those movies. Those movies are hilarious. Um, but yeah, the jokes in this play were all like very like more I don't want to say soft jokes, but it's like you can tell they were holding back to try to keep it more PG and more like somewhat appropriate for children because there were children in the theater. Uh, yeah, there's if I think of anything else to talk about, I'll put it in the description like I always do. And like I already said, this isn't a usual concert review for me. I just decided to make a video on it because, like I said, live musicians performing, people on stage, uh, singing. It's kind of a concert, sort of. It's a concert with production value, with that tells a story, with bits of people talking in between songs.